my name is Ton, and today I'm here with two coaches at the World Championship. Guys, can you tell us who you are?
I'm Coach Tanger from Brazil.
Yeah, hello, my name is Pavlo. I'm coach from Ukraine.
And we're here to talk a little bit about sales today. So the first question I would like to ask you is, how do you decide what sales your sailors have?
By my side, I try to find a sailor that can do well in all conditions. I try to find a balance that can switch well, can work well in all conditions.
And do you pick different types of sales for different sailors?
Sometimes I think some sailors suits more one sail than the other about the style. So I do a lot of testing, and in the end, I choose together with the sailor. The feedback of the sailor is very important for me.
For me, at first I would like to understand if we have opportunity to test a lot, as Tijo said, because sometimes sailor or family, they want just to hit one model and they don't have enough time to test. In this case, for me, it's good to pay attention just for body weights and I think fitness level of the sailor, because if the goal is just to buy only one sail for a season, you need also to think a bit in advance how the kit is growing. Maybe you go with slightly bigger model. Another situation is if you're working with sailor that goes a lot with you on the water, if we have some good sailing partners, then of course I go with this like basic model, then we try to, and other models we try to change a bit the mast. Sometimes it's enough to change the speed and you see that it actually changed the speed or pointing.
Okay, that's very interesting. And I'm thinking normally when I personally test sales, I also try and combine that testing with certain spars as well. When you test sales, how long would you say that you need in order to find a new sale for a sailor who has grown?
Yeah, for me, this is a very difficult question. I don't have pick a time. I go testing until I feel it's okay. Yeah? So I really try to adjust other things like masts, booms, spreads, foils, but I usually don't pick a time, a period. I go testing and try to squeeze as much as I can.
All right. And for you, Pablo, you live in Europe where qualifiers are often in the spring. So there's not so much time between the winter, the season starts, and the actual qualifier.
For me, when it's time to change the sail because of body kg, so the sailor goes for bigger sails, sometimes I totally agree with Tijo about the timing, because you never know how kit will react on some changes. Sometimes it's just like this, boom, I like it, he feels fast, good pointing, and that's it. And sometimes it's enough, like 2-3 trainings, and that's it. And sometimes this process, stretching, the kids start to feel, no, I felt a little bit better with another sail, with previous one. I'm trying to approach with philosophy that we don't make sailors to overthink about it, no? If you feel something good, that's it. Then don't ask me more questions about which spread should I use or which sail. The best thing is when you have good sailing partners close to you, you try something new, and we try to base our decision on the very first feelings. I think the first feelings are the most natural, no? So what I can add from my not very good experience, when I tried to change something and I changed in a one moment almost everything. Like I put flatter sail with more stiffer mast, and then the sailor was not happy, and then you need to go back, you know. So the suggestion now, what I learned is, if you want to change to more bigger model and stiffer spars, try to do it step by step, no? Change one piece. If the kit is getting used to it, then you see that probably I can add some more power with the stiffer mass. Then next step to change the stiffer mass. I lost some time with that for sure. Then you need to come back to understand what is working better and then to change it step by step.
You guys mentioned, both of you before, that it's important to have a sail that's good in all conditions, and I agree. These modern sails that have been developed the last few years, what's the advantage of using them in your opinion compared to maybe older models that existed 5-10 years ago?
Yes, I think they are much more efficient. So, and I think about the styling, I don't know, I think it's our style. I can pull in much more and the boat doesn't stop. I try to pull in and open the leech, so I think it's very good.
Yeah, I think if we can analyze now the fleet, if we compare the fleet to 5 years ago, for sure, I totally agree with Tijo that all sailors, they try to pull in more. Basically with all the brands, they try to close the sail more to have better angle, but the main point is not to stop the boat when you do it. The leech is more sensitive to your main sheets. You can clearly see when you open the main sheets, the leech opens. From one side, it makes that sailors should be more precise with main sheets. They need to feel it better. They need to be more precise on the momentum when you release, when you can pull to go higher. But from other side, it brings for sure better performance, because now all the sailors are trying to do it. Now is a lot about feeling how high can I go with not losing of the speed. So I think the modern sails provides you this opportunity, but you need to be more precise with your feelings, with timing.
Yeah. So that's very interesting as well, because now you're here with the best sailors in the world, and I can understand that you want to be faster, given that the sailor also has a very high level. But how do you do when you come back home to the club and you have sailors of very different levels? Do you try to copy what the highest level sailors are doing, or do you pick other equipment for sailors from maybe beginners or intermediate level?
What I believe, as soon as sailor has just some good basics of boat handling, I would like to step to this more precise work about the feeling of the leech, about feeling of the tension on the main sheets as soon as possible.
But for you, for example, it's very likely that your sailors will be here in the top here, and then they come home, and then you have all these aspiring sailors. Do you recommend them to copy what these sailors have here, or do you think it's better to do it another way?
Yeah, I don't recommend to copy, but always try to watch and learn how they are doing, what can you improve. First, I try to improve the sailor, and as soon as he got a good level, we try to give the best equipment for them. First, we go work with the sailors to improve the technique, the feelings.
Yeah, this kind of advantage from new equipment you have when sailor is ready for that, no? When the skills are good enough to handle it.
So for these local club coaches out there are many of us, when they have sailors who come back from international clinics and so on, they often come back with very different setups. As a coach and as a parent, how would you approach this problem that maybe you do not know everything? Do you try to get the group more similar, so everyone has the same equipment, or do you just try to yourself learn all types?
Right now, we are using quite similar material, but I prefer. I'm very open, so I try to learn and explore the maximum as I can with the material that he got. So they don't have to be similar. I think it's better to be open.
For me, basically, my group of international sailors, they are using quite similar materials and sails, but then as we are like open group, we always have some sailors who would like to join us. and for me is advantage because I'm happy to compare always to, as Tijo saying, it's good to stay open because some things always changing, and if you are going on the same stage with this changing, you are always aware what is going on.
Yeah.
You mentioned before also that you want sails that are good in everything, but then you talked about conditions, the waves and the wind strength. But what about different legs, like downwind and reach?
Very good question. I like this question because a time ago I prefer to use a better sail in the downwind, but now I prefer in the upwind because I had a sail some years ago that could do okay in the upwind, but in the downwind they just fly. So in the end, it was a very good advantage. I think now I prefer a more balanced sail that works well in all legs, upwind, downwind, reach.
So first about the different conditions, I just can share the latest try with Agnieszka during the preparation for the Worlds. We were expecting some good winds, and I was thinking to try the flatter sail. Now she's using power, but we were thinking maybe to try something flatter, just to make her life a bit more easier on upwind, to perform better in the moment when people start to release the spritz already. But then at the end, I saw that she's not so good used to flatter model, and then when the wind was dropping down, I saw that she doesn't feel confident. So then we just get back to the sail that she spent like the whole season, even more with power, and we just decided to stay probably not the fastest sail for her on strong winds, but you never know. Then the world championship is long. And about upwind downwind, I think that on upwind now the fleet is more similar. I don't see now that somebody has super great advantage with the speed. For me, for materials, I would like to pay attention to have good upwind, because if you are not able to stay in the lay, it's done. No? You must be able to stay in the lay. That's priority number one. For downwind, we try to do a lot of practice for downwind, because if you manage downwind good pay attention to the pressure which is arriving from your back, if you have good skills of surfing the waves, you're able to do small adjustment on the first mark, for example, to release the out haul and light medium chop waves to pull the kicker, it will be good enough to make a good downwind.
Okay, so as a final question for you guys, if it's not a secret, could you please tell us what sails your teams are using?
So my team using CD, all the models are there.
All the models are there?
Yeah, all the models.
Our team are using DRS and DRS++ from CD, and are the sails that I like the most.
All right, yeah, okay. Thank you guys for coming here, and good luck in the World Championship.
Thank you very much. Super.
My name is Ton, and today I'm here with two coaches at the World Championship.
Welcome everyone, race day number 7 of the Optimist World Championship 2026 here in Tanger. We are already with Gold Fleet race number 9. Second to last day of racing. Today we will see the big movers of the day define their position in the racing and consolidate and try to be in a good position for tomorrow's racing. Today, 2 races in the schedule, and we will see a bit of a lighter breeze compared to yesterday. At the moment, 10 knots in the race course, 0.2 meters of wave. All the fleets already in the race course, and Gold Fleet just coming through in your screens. To the right of your screen, we have the trackers. You can see the top 10 live of every race. So we leave you with this. And good luck to all the competitors. So stream just starting now. Sponsor of today's stream is City Sales. We saw an interview with top coaches from Brazil and Ukraine giving their feedback on their sales. So let us know from where you are cheering from. At the moment, race committee just confirming clear start for the Gold Fleet. And we will soon be following the rest of the fleets, silver, and bronze and emerald in their starting. But at the moment, only action here in the Gold Fleet, so let's follow them around. And here we are following the group that started most to pin. All the boats looking like they believe that the left side of the course will pay more, holding on starboard. At the moment, Guilherme Costa from Portugal in the leading position. Margot from Hong Kong, second position. Also seeing 2 Spanish and a Polish in the top 10. So let's see how the race comes through. Slowly going towards the pin end side of the boats. Walter Healy from Australia and Sisu Celio from Finland in the screen right now, along Greek Dimitrios. And we're just seeing the boats, bit of wave already building, bit more wave compared to the wind than the previous days where we saw similar wave state but more wind, so this will for sure affect how they sail the boat. And here we are. In the screens at the moment, Guilherme Costa, that is being shown as the overall leader at the moment, took a pin start and is pushing towards the left. Nicolás Bastard from Spain, also in your screens right now. Nicolás had a really good day yesterday and moved from 20th overall to top 10. So if he keeps on putting races like this, he will for sure go up in the standings. As a short recap, after today's races, we have Cengiz in P1, Manuel Braganza in P2, and Andrea de Murtas in P3. Whilst in the girls' categories, we have Ines from Puerto Rico, Natalia from Sweden, and Margot from Hong Kong in the top 3 female positions. Fleet starting to converge already and coming on port. Will, Kaylee, and Margot in the most windward to us. Guillermo Costa just slightly to leeward of the pack. Guillermo at the moment in 14th overall. Yesterday he didn't have the best day, probably was a bit out of tempo, scored a 28, 43, 49, but here we see him again back in the leading positions. Just tacking to him, windward of him is Nicolas Bastard. Will Cayley coming here, tacking close. This is top quality close racing. We're seeing the sailors really pushing close. And the breeze slowly building up more and more. Turkish sailor just coming through. This is Turkey's Emir. Emir has had some good races, but hasn't been finding that consistency that, for example, Cengiz has had. Scored a second in race 4, and yesterday in race 7 scored an 11th. So nice to see him overall. Guillermo Costa defending that left side, constantly finding himself between the group and the left side, so he probably believes that the left comes through eventually. Yesterday, first race, right side paid off. Those sailors that went to the right paid off and had a good first race. Whilst in race 2 and race 3 of yesterday, left side paid again. So, bit of a tricky course. We have to really adapt and sail to the moment, but right now looking like left side is looking good. Manuel Braganza from Portugal at the moment, leader of this tracking. Manuel really consistent. 2, 10, 10, 1, 2, 6, 4, 2. He has not been outside the top 10 in any of the races. Cengiz did have a bad race yesterday, the last one, which was a 19th, but Manuel at the moment in a good position. Let's just get closer to the boats in the center of the course. And we're just getting here closer to the boats in the middle. We're seeing Natalia and Ines, first and second girl at the moment here, getting another good race, so they will be happy. In front of them, Norwegians sailor. This is Nikolai from Norway, just leading the pack. To leeward of him, Manuel Braganza from Portugal, which is showing the 2 top boats at the moment. Looks like those sailors that tacked out a bit earlier from the left are finding themselves in a good position, although looks like the wind is slowly clocking right and increasing. If we look at the back of the screens, we can see 2 continents. We're seeing Tanger closer to us, and in the background, Spain. Quite crazy to see in one race course 2 continents like we are seeing now, and looks like as we go further away and getting closer to the center of the strait, the pressure is building a bit more. We'll slowly see sailors hike more and use the techniques that we were seeing yesterday as bailing out with the hand and using that hand to also help pass the waves. So here we are, whole fleet on port. We'll slowly see the boats from the right tack back onto starboard, and we'll see that first crossing. We'll leave a bit the gold fleet while they go up just to catch up with blue silver fleet. Here we are, blue silver fleet coming through now. Less than 1 minute to the start, and here we are. Fleet behaving, fleet spread out, boats in the center punching slightly above the double sag we have, and start for Silver Fleet coming up soon. Less than 1 minute to go, and looks like the boats in the center are pushing quite a lot. Looking to me like it will be a general recall. Yes, general recall just coming up now on your screens. So we will go back with the gold fleet. whilst the blue fleet silver prepares for another restart. Here we are, gold fleet coming up in your screens now, and we're seeing the boats approaching. Tracker still showing Manuel and Nikolai that we saw left the left a bit earlier, just coming still in P1. Walter Healy from Australia in your screens right now. Walter has had, let's see how his racing has been. He's 19th overall, so quite a good result. 8, 7, 16, 5, 37, 49, 9, 21 on the scorecard. So 19th overall, really good position. Walter was last year at Worlds, but didn't have a race as good as he is looking right now. He'll probably be enjoying more this stronger breeze in Tanger compared to the lighter breeze we had in Slovenia last year. In your screens right now, the overall leader of this race, Nikolai from Norway. Nikolai from Norway has in his scorecard 13, 12, 7, 26, 18, 45, 31, 5. He is slowly getting into better and better shape as the championship passes. He scored 5th in the last race of Gold Fleet with all the top sailors. So he'll be happy of being able to score another next race. Now in your screens, Mara from Spain. Mara was one of the early female leaders, although unfortunately she had a penalty due to measurements which put her in a tough position. And right now we're having here Slovenian sailor Val Grebek, top 10 at Worlds last year. And here he is once again in those leading positions. Fleet slowly approaching while we have Matias Capizano in the middle of the action taking his amazing shots he takes every day. So we are seeing him follow the race and we are following him and the race around. Bit of time still left. Looks like Nikolai and Manuel will be P1 and P2. Manuel looking extremely solid with these races. So if he can manage this consistency throughout today also, it will leave him the possibility of tomorrow being in a really strong position to fight for the World Championship title. Last year he was also top contender for World Championship title. He managed to be in the top 3 positions until last race where he scored the BFD, and once again he is here showing what he is made of. Fleet about to approach. Let's zoom in soon and see who will be taking leading position, although it looks like Nikolai from Norway will be the leader of this top mark. And here we are just seeing the top boats cross. We're seeing the boats like Val Grebek, Joao, Mara, Tomás Morteo, Will Catley, and among other sailors just rounding here. Natalia, that we saw in good position before, just went a bit back in the pack, probably indicating she had a bit of a bad approach to the top mark. In the approach, Dani Capa coming through in your screens here also. He is a sailor of the Opti Mallorca team, one of the sponsors of the streaming. So his coach, Tony Monerris, will for sure be happy to see him around. So whilst we follow the fleet around, let's just update you with the top 10 overall at the moment. at the moment. P1 for Cengiz, P2 for Manuel Braganza, P3 for Andrea de Murtas, P4 for Carl Birgersson, Elliot Novara in P5, Lamin P7, Nicolas Bastard P8, Briggs Kosman from the US P9, and Tomás Morteo from Argentina in P10. Whilst we follow the fleet around, let's just switch and see the position of the silver fleet in the start. Here we have it for you guys, the start coming up now. Still more than 1 minute left, so while the fleet lines up, let's quickly follow the top boats in the reaching, and once they're closer to the start line, we go back to the start. Here we are with the leading boats one again. Nikolai from Norway and Manuel Braganza from Brazil in P1 and P2. P3 for Turkish Sailor and P4 for Ines from Puerto Rico. Ines, current first girl at the moment, vice world champion last year in Slovenia, and here she is once again trying to step it up and go one spot above in the overall podium. Looks like the fleet managed to stretch out a bit. In those top positions, it's very important to be fast, because if you can be fast and sail your own mode in the downwind, you can really stretch out on the fleet. Here we're seeing the 5th, 6th, and 7th boat just coming through. Silver fleet just coming through now in the start. Here we have it. Looks like a general recall once again, so the fleet will have to take a bit more time. Let's go back to gold. And here we are following gold fleet around. They will soon be approaching the downwind leg. Let's just review the course quickly. This is the course the sailors will be racing. It's a upwind followed by a reach, longer downwind, and then top mark finish line. That's the course they do. At the moment we're seeing them in this top reaching, and they will soon go downwind towards that gate. Fifth boat just coming through, that is Greek Sailor. Greek Sailor Georgios just coming through, P5 for him. Georgios having a 25-40, 5-6-2, 34-38, 35. And this shows us that any sailor from Gold Fleet can get a good race. The level is extremely high, but no mistakes are allowed. Nicolas Bastard following the leading group in P6. Nicolas, as we said before, had a really good day, 14-1-3. Probably one of the sailors that scored least amount of points in yesterday's Gold Fleet racing. So he will be happy. Other top sailors yesterday in Gold Fleet were Cengiz with a 1:17.719 and Manuel Braganza with a 6:42. Elliot Novara also 11:3-1. So these are the top 4 boats in yesterday's Gold Fleet racing. But right now, Nikolai from Norway leading this race. We're just seeing him go down. Manuel Braganza just taking the turn now, going downwind. Manuel putting the centerboard really high up. I've been told by some coaches that there is a bit of algae and seaweed on the water, so the sailors just take the centerboard up to make sure it's clear and it is not disturbing them in their downwind. Because speed is key in the downwind, it is the most important thing, so if they're not fast, really tricky to move around. Passing right now, Nicolas Bastard and Carl Birgersson. Carl had yesterday 3:41.11, so he burnt his discard, but still here he is once again doing a good race. Mara from Spain rounding now with Val Grebek. And let's just let's switch camera now, see the gold fleet from another perspective. We're once again here with the leading boats. Silver fleet still not racing, they are doing another general recall, so they will soon be starting. It was with black flag, so we will have to wait a bit to know who are the black flags. But at the moment, only fleet racing is gold fleet. Following here, Norwegian sailor Nikolai, current leader of the race, and we can see he knows what he is doing. Great plan by him coming through, making distance to the sailors following him. Manuel Braganza following in second place. Sometimes it's even easier racing at the top than in the pack. You don't have to lead. You don't have to deal with the congestion of traffic that we're seeing in the back, and you're just sailing your VMG perfect mode. So getting to that top mark in a good position is key to making your race easy. In the middle, lots of decisions have to be made, and in the back also alongside playing with dirty air. So very, very important. If you can make it to the top fleet, to the top part of the fleet, you'll have an easier race. In your screens right now, Ines from Puerto Rico just jibing, whilst Turkish sailor Emir just following straight. Nicolas from Spain following back. Nicolas won a few days ago along the Spanish team, the Team Racing World Championship. 3 times in a row for Spain. They won in 2024 in Mar del Plata. They won last year in Slovenia, and once again here. Their coach, Fernando Alegre, definitely knows the playbook on how to win a World Championship title. So we have Silver Fleet UFD's confirmation coming through. Switzerland 2042, Mexico 1226, Finland 1252, USA 39, Argentina 4133, Switzerland 1853, Norway 4134, and Slovenia 500. Here we are, meanwhile, following Gold Fleet. Top 4 at the moment, still the same. Nikolai, Manuel, Emir, and Ines are behind them, but not in the screens right now. We have Nicolas and Georgios coming through, alongside Carl, Walter, Mara, and Val. Nikolai really managing to extend. We can see that he's really focusing on the wave surfing. If you follow the trail the boat is leaving, it is for sure not a straight line trail. He is going up, going down, surfing along the waves and really using them. He looks like he is extremely fast, like a subway in a city, going from one place to another, surfing in a trail, going in rails and being extremely fast. We will soon change to see the leading boats in this upwind from their upwind position, but meanwhile let's see the gate rounding. Top 10 just coming through now. We saw Nicolas Bastar from Spain and Mara jibing through now. We have Carl Birgersson just coming through and Walter Healy from Australia. Will Catley from Canada taking right-hand gate, while Joao from Brazil is taking left-hand gate. That's the top 10 at the moment. And let's switch to see the leading boats in this Gold Fleet. We're back with our leader, Nikolai from Norway. Nikolai just becoming richer and richer. Looks like he is in a great position to take the bullet. He is sailing a great race. And Manuel not giving up. Manuel, we can see, managed to gain a bit more height after the gate. Two very different modes. Norwegian Nikolai going for a bit more speed, not pointing up so much, while Manuel Braganza going up, up, and up. Speaking with his coach that we heard in the start of the interview, they are looking for two things, obviously. Being fast, but every time pointing higher and higher and higher. We can really see the differences between the two ways the sailors sail, even though they're both racing CD. We can see how their boom position changes, that meaning their rake is in a different position and how much they're sheeting in. Manuel, very, very tight in the mainsail, very, very back on the rake, whilst Norwegian sailor Nikolai, a bit of a different method, bit of a different technique. Rake not as much back, and the main sheet a bit outside the boat. So different ways of sailing, but we can see that there is not a single answer to this. It's what you are comfortable with and depends a lot. Obviously, if you're sheeted in more, if you stop the boat, you have to open slightly more the mainsail, and it's a more of a risky trade-off, but depends on many things, which mode you prefer. If you are more confident because you can put more hours on the boat, or at least more hours on the boat in that condition, you maybe try sheeting a bit more, which will give you that plus in pointing. But maybe it's also a trade-off, depends on the wave. If you're stopping the boat a lot, or there's lots of opportunities of stopping because of the chop, then you don't maybe want to risk it, as when you stop, you don't only fall back, you also fall to leeward compared to the other boats. So you have to think about it, have to get a technique that you're comfortable and confident with. Emir and Ines just tacking through, going for the cross and crossing the fleet. If you're in this position that you're leading the race, you're not looking anymore to make any big gains. You're just looking to consolidate, take that top 5 home, which will be a really good race. But we'll soon see Ines and Emir getting into a bit of a tacking duel. You're just trying to pass that boat in front. So if Ines can pass Emir throughout the racing, she will be happy about getting that extra point, which could mean at the end of the week becoming female world champion or not. But Emir liking more that left hand side, won't let her cross through. So we will see her tacking and Emir tacking on top, just Emir trying to stay between Ines and the left side of the course. New blue boat here on our screens, provider of charters in this 2026 Tanger Worlds and sponsor of the stream. Great boats, as you can see, performing and being fast, as Emir is showing us right now. Great close-up here. We can really look at Emir's technique, how he is working the boat. Emir just stacking on top of Ines. Ines maybe having a bit of a speed edge over Emir, so Emir just wants to stay safe, tack on top of her and not let her go to the left side, because if she manages to go through, could mean that he loses this position he has fought so hard for. Nikolai having an incredible lead over the fleet. We can see top 10 boats in our screen, but they are far away. At the moment, Nikolai, Manuel, Emir, top 3 of this race. Ines still in P4, 5 for Georgios and Nicolas for Spain, 6. So we're probably going to see that fight between Emir and Ines still go on. Ines wants that top 3 overall in this race, but Emir won't let her pass through. Here we are zooming in a bit more now on the screen, and you'll see Nikolai from Norway cruising to the finish line. He will be happy. He will be really happy with the result of this race. 5th in last race yesterday, 7th in race 3, but now he is managing to put this bullet into his scorecard, so he is going to be really happy. This will push him up quite a lot. We're not seeing some of the sailors that are around him in the results in the screen, like Christos from Greece, Mihail Sovets from Slovenia, Dani Kappa from Spain, so we'll probably see them pass through. So Blue Fleet confirmation, they are racing already. We will soon get you with the Blue Fleet positions, but meanwhile enjoying this top quality racing by the whole Gold Fleet, but especially Nikolai from Norway. Congrats, Nikolai, you're taking quite certainly this bullet home. But let's focus now on the next group coming up. We have a battle coming between Emir and Ines, and another battle occurring between Georgios and Nicolas. Emir here in our screens right now along Carl from Sweden. Carl at the moment P4 overall. We haven't seen in the racing for now Andrea de Murtas and Cengiz. We saw them at the top mark, but they were not in an extremely good position. So they will probably take their discard. Cengiz had a 19th overall, a 19th, so he'll be taking probably those 19 points home unless he manages to overtake some boats. While Andrea de Murtas scored yesterday 10, 10, 10. Very solid, very solid. So he will manage to discard the race he is racing right now. Top 3 just coming through now, whilst we're seeing at the end of the screen the Silver Fleet Racing. We'll soon switch to them, but let's just enjoy this Gold Fleet finish line that will be coming up. Bronze Fleet already in procedure. They have just had 5-minute gun, so we will also cover them when we're closer to the start line. But here we are following Nikolai, Manuel and Emir. We're seeing one boat come from the right side of the course. Let's see who it is, if they manage to overtake any other boats. Manuel will now have an incredible scorecard. 2, 10, 10, 1, 2, 6, 4, 2, 2. Bit of seaweed that we're seeing right now on the screens, so very important for the sailors to avoid this, as it can really stop them down. On the screen right now we have the finishing line between the two vessels with the blue flags, but we're just seeing here Nikolai and Manuel approaching the finishing line. Manuel tacking soon, going to ley line. And here we have Nikolai being very happy about this first place he will be taking in a second. Manuel just tagging here and covering Emir from Turkey. Emir managed to make some ground. And here we have them coming through. Second place for Manuel from Brazil. He was 7 points behind in the overall, behind Cengiz from Turkey, although now with this race he will cut down the lead and find himself in first position overall. Fellow team member from Cengiz, Emir, just coming through in P3. And let's see when the other boats come through who is the next. And looks like Georgios from Greece managed to overtake Ines from Puerto Rico. Ines just coming through right now. Mara from Spain coming in our screens along teammate Nicolas. Nicolas will be taking P6 and Mara P7. There we have them just crossing now in the screens. This will put Nicolas also in a very good position. We didn't see sailors in front of him like Elliot, Arthur, and Andrei, so he will see them. He will find himself probably around P5 after this race. Carl from Sweden in 4th overall, just passing now, and Walter Healy and Will Cayley coming through. Great race by both of them. Here we have Brazilian also coming through. This is Tomás, Puerto Rico and Finland sailor just coming now, and Tomás Morteo from Argentina coming through now. Hong Kong Margot just coming through now. And let's see if we manage to find Natalia, that was in the moment 2nd overall in the female category. We saw her in a good position in the upwind, although looks like she lost a few spots, so let's see if we see her around. Andre from Malta just coming in your screens now. And Johnny Rogers from GBR coming through this pin ley line. Let's see if he tacks through or he ducks. He decides to duck. Guillermo Costa, that we saw in good position at the start of the race. When rounding now, probably he overdid that left side, didn't come back when the left shift was coming, and then he missed his chance. Andrea de Murtas, who was 3rd overall, just coming through your screen now. And let's see if we manage to find Cengiz from Turkey, our current leader. Although probably the situation will change after this race. There we have him, Cengiz coming now in your screens. From the right side of the screen, not having the best race, so he will have to discard this, which will put Manuel in a very, very solid position. And here we have Bronze Fleet. Bronze Fleet just going through their start. At the moment showing Maximilian in 1st place, Joe in 2nd place, and Liv in 3rd place. Here we're seeing panning across the fleet. Let us know in the comments if you are following, if you are seeing your sailor and who are you cheering for. And you're asking, some of you, if this is really live. Yeah, this is really live, 26th of June 2026. We're here in Tanger, live sharing and streaming the World Championship. Just switching now to see the top silver fleet just passing through. Nicola from Italy rounding in first position. Eren from Turkey second position. Noah from Norway in third position. And another Turkey, Metehan, vice world champion in team racing in third position. We now have confirmation of the Silver Fleet BFDs in the third start. Greece 1909, Czech Republic 724, Italy 349. So unfortunately the leader of this race, Nicola. Malta 192, Norway 4131, Sweden 4934, Azerbaijan 28, Uruguay 137, Hong Kong 190. Unfortunately, these sailors got BFD among those that had before a BFD. Switzerland 2042, Mexico 1226, Finland 1252, USA 39, Argentina 4133, Switzerland 1853, Norway 4134, and Slovenia 500. Emerald Fleet soon going into racing. Here we have Emerald Fleet for you. And we will soon update you with the racing start, just beginning, so more or less 4 minutes something to start line. So we are now going to follow Fleet, Silver Fleet in your screens right now. Here we have them. Overall pan shot So we have just had a general recall for the Emerald Fleet. They will now go again. Whilst they repeat, we leave you with some adverts to thank our sponsors.
MDJS, faire gagner le sport. Did you know the wetsuit you wear pollutes the ocean? Traditional neoprene takes 1,000 years to disappear. Clean. Restore. Prevent. Same performance, smaller footprint. Because protecting the ocean isn't optional, it's the whole point.
What does it take to become a sailing champion? Talent helps, but preparation makes the difference. At Gold Winds Sailing Academy, we develop the sailors of tomorrow through elite coaching, advanced training, and real competitive experience. From youth classes to Olympic pathways, we build athletes ready to perform when it matters most. Because excellence isn't found, it's trained. Gold Winds Sailing Academy. To be a sailing pro, start training like one.
And here we are following the first of the Silver Fleet in the downwind already for this race number number 9. Apologies for this number in screen, it is wrong. Here we have the updated graphic Race number 9 for the Silver Fleet just coming up now. And here we're seeing Metehan from Turkey. He managed to pass Nicola Di Pila from Italy. And here he is. Nicola, unfortunately, PFD in the race, so he will have a last position very, very sadly. But here we have Metehan and Nicola fighting it 1-for-1. Great technique by Metehan, just surfing there the wave to get a good jibe in. Let's zoom in him a bit, see him closely. New blue boat also. We can see him here bailing, still working the boat, and about to take the leeward gate up to the finish line for this last upwind. Other fleets racing at the moment are Emerald and other fleets racing are Emerald and Bronze Fleet. Let's see if we have any more results coming through. Fortunately, no more UFD results at the moment, so when we have further update, we will let you know. Changing camera to see this approach from a different view. And here we're seeing just the last boats of the Silver Fleet just coming through. We are asking where are you cheering from, and we have fans here from Puerto Rico, GBR, Brazil, Belgium, and Serbia. So let us know who your sailors are and who are you cheering for. We now have an update on bronze UFDs. We have Norway 4137, Australia 1931, Bermuda 62, Sweden 4940, and Mexico 1287. And here we are just seeing the finish of the Silver Fleet. Silver Fleet just coming through. Metehan from Turkey taking P1, Nikola taking P2, and Eren from Turkey taking P3. Unfortunately, Nikola was over, so we will see the results shuffle a bit. Let's go now to the start line. Soon we will see screen now on screen. We will soon see the start of the Gold Fleet next race. This will be race number 11. So keep up with us, and we will soon let you know how the racing is going. At the moment, silver finishing the race, bronze in the downwind, and emerald approaching the reaching mark. We leave you with these images, and soon we will see the second race of today. On today's schedule, only 2 races. So after we see the second race for all the teams, that will mean today's finished and only the grand finale tomorrow left. Tomorrow we will see who becomes individual Optimist World Champion and female Optimist World Champion. Thanks for joining us one more day.
With safety. That's where everything starts for us, even before the first step. A first feeling that lasts. Safety as a choice. A trusted choice, one that feels good to put on. Designed for the journey you are about to take, and for the body that's wearing it. With engineered precision, with quality and function from the Nordic tradition. Because we understand, safety grows from insight, from every trip, from every adventure, from every experience. It's about how it feels. It's about comfort, about design that embraces the emotions of feeling safe and free. That's how we prepare for a new season. That's why people keep choosing Baltic year after year. That's what we mean when we say, the feel of comfortable safety.
So we're here for the next race of Gold Fleet. Race number 10 of Gold Fleet. We're already in starting procedure. UFD, first attempt. Let's see if the fleet behaves. And we will let you with the images while the fleet prepares. We're seeing some boats do the last checks, see what side is paying off, go towards the side they believe will be favored. Probably also checking if there is any current. We've had some current in the last few days. This is Tanger, is the place where the Mediterranean and the Atlantic meet, so it is something that happens usually that we have strong currents. Breeze slowly increasing throughout the day. The sea breeze has been building and building. 2:30 local time, so probably around peak sea breeze time, maybe the breeze starts slowly dropping. Last minute already for Gold Fleet, and here we are. Race number 10, Gold Fleet. General recall for Gold Fleet. So we will now see them start again. At the moment, the other fleets finishing their racing. So we just let you with Gold Fleet as they reset the race. Here we are, restart of Gold Fleet already in procedure for race number 10. Final race number 10 of Gold Fleet. Black flag, so sailors have to be very, very careful. For those sailors trying to aim for a spot in the podium, black flag could be a disaster. It would mean a last place +1. So that means whatever they would have as discard right now, they would have to take it in. So sailors will have to be very, very careful. We're seeing the fleet already behaving more than before, waiting further back. Some boats in the center, bit above the pack, but if they have a good transit, it could be good. In the background, we can see Tanger has lots of landscape, many different buildings around, so if you take an eye and you check carefully, you could get a really good transit and make sure you are well. Also important to check the current. If the current is pushing you down, you have to stay closer to the line and make sure that you start the boat a bit earlier. If the current is pushing you up towards the line, you have to wait further down and make sure that you are not over the line. Here we are, last minute of Gold Fleet race number 10 pre-start. And looking at the moment, like the fleet is quite spread. Maybe a bit more congestion in the ends, but here we are about to go. That's it, and looking like clear start just coming through. Tracker will start working very, very soon, but I'm seeing Canadian Harris starting in committee and first boats tacking out straight away. Manuel Braganza pushing towards that right side of the course. Bit of a change of plans. Last race he was in pin end, so looks like he is detecting some kind of change in the conditions. And Gold Fleet just coming through. Sengiz, our current leader, unfortunately not getting the best start. So we will see how the sailors move through. Singapore, Lucas Cao looking very solid there. If he had a transit, it could mean he would get a good start. And here we are, race number 10 of the finals at the 2026 Optimist Worlds. As soon as we get we got confirmation right now. Gold Fleet race 10 with the black flag was a clear start. Nobody was over the line, so they will all be happy coming through knowing that whatever result they take. Natalia from Sweden looking in a good position. Looks like she got a clear start. She is for sure not over, as the committee has confirmed it was a clear start. Andrea Murtas also struggling a bit too behind the bad air of Carl Birgersson from Sweden. And here we are seeing the boats Swedes pushing towards that left side of the course. Maybe coach Ton Thorn told them some inside information of where to go, what he believed was working better. And here we are seeing the winner of the last race, Nikolai in your screen right now. And to leeward of him, another top 10 in last race, Walter Healy. As soon as we get confirmation of the results in the last race, we will let you know. But as for now, that is follow Gold Fleet in race number 10. And here we are following the sailors from the left side of the course. We are seeing Dani Capa from Spain, Guillermo from Puerto Rico, and the tracking at the moment putting them in the leading positions. So we could maybe see the left side pay off again. We saw some sailors that started really well in the last race, just overdid going to that left side, missed the chance to come back, and that meant they were not in the best position at the top mark, like Guillermo from Portugal. But right now, here we are following the boats from the left side and see how it plays off for them. Dani Capa from Spain deciding to take more leverage on the left side of the course. He's thinking that it will probably pay off hard time, so he wants to be top 1 in the top mark. Panning back to the course, winner of the last race yesterday, Elliot Novara. Here we have him. Really good position overall. His coach Adrian Barceló was very happy when I was speaking with him this morning. With a good scorecard, he's 5th overall, 16, 13, 27, 3, 1, 11, 3, 1. Still no update on race number 9 results. As soon as we have them, we will let you know. But here we have him looking solid once again. Tracking showing him first. He is for sure fast. We are seeing how he makes meters and meters to the rest of the fleet. And here we are following around the left boat's tracker, putting them in the lead right now. We're seeing Elliot, Hugo, Guillermo, Hendrik, and Dani Capa as the top 5 at the moment. But we can see that things change around really quickly. Inés from Puerto Rico, current first girl overall, and 12th, scored a good race in the previous race, 6. And now we see her once again. Similar strategy to last race. Go to the left, tack out early, and we're seeing her teammate Guillermo also doing something similar, so it looks like the Puerto Rican sailors might be up to something. Malta's Andre also tacking out early, and we're gonna start seeing the first crossing from the boat between the left and the right, seeing what side pays off. I believe it's Spaniard Hugo just crossing there. Yeah, it's Hugo looking in a good position. And let's switch quickly to the green fleet. Emerald fleet just finishing. Here we see the sailors in this last fleet just coming through. And with the leader, the winners of this race was Francisco, 2nd place for Vasi, 3rd place for Tamin, 4th for Roy, and 5th for Paul Miller. We'll leave you with these images for a while whilst the gold fleet slowly approaches the top mark, and we will update you with their position. Back to Gold Fleet now. Back to Gold Fleet, just now in your screens, we're following the left side of the course. Hugo from Spain still in P1, Elliot in P2, Hendrik in P3, 4th for Andrei, and 5th for Ines. That's the top 5 at the moment in the Go Fleet. We're following this left side, and we're seeing the umpires closely survey the fleet. They will not let any pumping come through, so they have to be very, very careful. Here we have Nicolas from Spain just at the bottom of your screens coming through now. Elliot from Switzerland in the middle of the screens. Let's switch now to the right side of the screen. We're seeing US sailor Jaden coming through now. Good position ahead of the right side, but I believe that the left side will cross. He is not shown at the moment as a top 10 in the rankings of the race, but he is in a good position. And here we have him working the boat. Jan Hevre from UAE just tacking soon to leeward of him. Here we have the tack coming in. Back to the left side of the course with our leaders at the moment. Mara from Spain, once again here. To windward of her, we have Natalia from Sweden, second girl overall. And here we have her. Few boats to windward, that took a bit more leverage crossing ahead. But for sure, this left side is paying off big time. Still no race 9 updates. Great zoom by of Walter Healy and Carl Birgersson from Sweden. We can see very different modes. Carl going for a slightly lower mode as he has Walter just pushing above him and can't afford getting run over, so he's going more for a speed mode there. Brazilian Joao just tacking to starboard, and Tomás Morteo just coming through your screens now. Here we have the leading boats in this left side. Natalia crossing and going towards that left side, and we can already see the top mark in our screens. Switching camera now, we can see the top boats approaching the top mark. Looks like Hendrik, it will be in the lead. Will second place and Andrei third place at the moment, but when they get closer we will be able to get those numbers confirmed. Elliot from Switzerland just tacking here in our screens, crossing the fleet. He will probably go to port leyline, tack back, and just make sure he crosses the fleet. Looks like Elliot will round in first place. Tracker showing Dani Kappa, although we can see Dani to leeward of these two boats and looks like he will round third. Nicolas looking like he will round second. Elliot just slightly crossing here. Ines from Puerto Rico tacking now. And looks like the Spanish had a clear idea of how to race this race. 1, 2, 3 Spanish in the screen at the moment. We're just seeing, looks, and another Puerto Rico sailor, Guillermo, just coming through now. So we have Guillermo and Ines from Puerto Rico, and Spanish Hugo, Nicolas, and Dani in top 10. So looks like these two nations had a clear idea of how to race this race. Andrei just tacking now in your screens with Hong Kong Margos just tacking now. And here we have the top 10 closing up. Singapore, Lucas Cao tagging on top of Danny Kappa. Norwegian, Nikolai above the group, and French man coming through also. Will Cayley that we saw was in a better position, didn't have the best approach from the right side of the course. Unfortunately, he got took over by the boats more in the left side. So here we have it. Walter Healy just tagging through. Andrea de Murtas making it through the mark. Now, here we saw it was a tight mark rounding, but he manages to go through. Walter Healy there just touching the mark, acknowledging it, and going for one quick turn. Acknowledging it and going for one quick turn. And we're just about to round the reaching mark. Looks like the top three clearly ahead of the bunch. It is Elliot, Nicolas, and Ines, top three. Coming behind fellow teammate of Ines, Guillermo, and fifth, another Spanish, Hugo. Sixth overall, Andre. Seventh for Margot from Hong Kong. Danny Kappa using his extra speed to round 8th and pass the Frenchman Paul Masson. 10th overall, closing this top 10, is Nikolai from Norway, and 11th, Lucas Cao. The group is slowly stretching out. We're seeing Hugo from Spain going for a jibe, splitting up of the fleet, whilst the rest have decided to stay on starboard. Changing camera in a second to see the other start, and here we have Red Fleet in race number 10 with black flag. They already went for one start attempt, but they are overall redoing it, so we will let them go with the start procedure and catch up with them later on. On to camera for now to see the downwind of the leaders. Here we have the downwind of the leaders coming through your screens now. Elliot, Nicolas, and Ines clearly ahead of the pack. Ines had a good race in the previous race, so she will see herself grow her lead in the girls category. Before this, she was 21 points ahead of the second girl, Natalia from Sweden, but now she will see her lead extend. Natalia didn't have a good first race, and Ines had a top 6, so that will put her up. And now Ines once again here in those leading positions. Top 3 girls at the moment, Ines, Natalia, and Margot, whilst top 3 boys before the first race of today, Cengiz, Manuel, and Andrea. Let's just change to the overall results. These are your overall top 10 sailors. We're seeing here 8th overall, Nicolas Bastard, and 5th overall, Elliot Novara. These two sailors sailing a great regatta, one more great race, and we will see them here probably climb spots. We saw them, Elliot and Nicolas, do another good race before, so they will move up. We have a updated Silver Fleet UFDs, Turkey 1907 and New Zealand 4592. Those are the two boats that did UFD. And we can see Ines from Puerto Rico that went for a jibe recently, splitting out from Elliot and Nicolas. Probably Ines finding a bit more speed and trying to just take a bit of leverage, separate, and then converge in front of the group. She's looking very fast at the moment. Great waves to surf. We're seeing the waves are slowly increasing, as well as the wind during today for this race number 10 of the finals. And some two boats that are not performing as well today, unfortunately, are Andrea and Cengiz. We really haven't seen them in the first race or this race, so that won't be good for them. Manuel Braganza did a really good first race, but we haven't seen him in this race either. So let's see if we can catch up with the top 3 leaders and locate them in this race. Red Fleet just got their start. Let's switch and see the Red Fleet. Here we have Red Fleet. We'll soon let you know if it was a clear start or not, but here we have all the boats, pan of the sailors, lots of new blue boats. And here we have them slowly coming up. Looks like Bermudian sailor looking in a good position. confirmation, clear start for race number 10, Bronze Fleet. These are the boats that we're seeing at the moment. But let's change camera, go back to the downwind gate action. We're on camera 4 at the moment. Camera 4 here for you. Ines from Puerto Rico managed to overtake Nicolas and Elliot, looking very, very fast in these downwind legs. Here we have her, Puerto Rico 108, leading this race number 10. Let's see when we get the results after today, but I am quite confident we will see her extend her lead towards the other girls. We saw Mara from Spain do a good race. She is at the moment before the first race of today with 138 points, 35th overall. And she was 14 points behind third female sailor Margot. But we don't see her at the moment. Let's see if we can catch up with her later. Puerto Rico Ines looking very, very fast. And here we're seeing our leader of the race. Let's try see how she is making those extra kilometers per hour, extra horsepower, but she is being fast. Sail slightly inside 90 degrees, but once she catches the wave, she opens it more. Sprit, for sure, she loosened it at the top mark. We're seeing that she's getting a bit of a crease. When creasing and not stretching it out, it also makes the sail slightly deeper as it doesn't stretch the sail out, so it helps a bit of extra power. Weight quite forward. We can see her leg above, in front of the midline of the boat. And here we see her just approaching the gate, getting the sprit ready for the top upwind mark. Boom, centerboard coming down, and we're seeing her go for a jibe. Standing up to balance the boat, and here she is, managed to overtake Nicolas and Elliot. Sprit coming through now, just to make it sure it's well trimmed for the upwind. And here we have it. She managed to get a bit of extra height on Elliot, so that won't be good news for Elliot here. Elliot decided to go for a low mode now, just trying to get a bit of leverage and clear air, whilst Nicolas stopped for a second just to get the sprit in place. Guillermo from Puerto Rico just coming to the gate in a second, clearly ahead of Hong Kong's Margot and Malta's Andrei Zakov. And just jibing now, Hong Kong and Malta. Coming in next, we have Hugo from Spain, Nikolai from Norway, and Paul Masson from France. Dani Capa from Spain deciding to take a split in this race. He maybe feels that the wind is shifting back to the right and just wants to take a bit of leverage there. Next up, Singapore's Lucas Cao. And let's see if we can locate the leaders of today. Cengiz from Turkey coming through now. He managed to come back some places. We're seeing him here in the right side of our screen. And he'll be rounding around 15, 16. He's struggling a bit to find some clear lanes today. Same as Andreas de Murtas, just passing the left mark now. But it is all still up to play. Carl Birgersson from Sweden also coming through, and we still haven't seen Manuel Braganza. Manuel is having a bit of a shocker race. We're seeing him here coming between the two marks, and he will be around 25th at the moment. That means this will be his discard. Very solid for now. 2, 10, 10, 1, 2, 6, 4, 2, 2. So he will probably see this race discarded, but he can't give up. Maybe this 20th, if it's a 19 tomorrow, could turn him into world champion, so he has to fight for every centimeter left. At the moment, we have seen the overall top 10. We're having it now in our screen. We've just seen Zengiz, Manuel, Andrea, and Carl pass through. Elliot from Switzerland, Andre, and Nicolas Bastard coming through in those earlier leader positions. So we are going to see this leaderboard tighten up. Zengiz was 7 points ahead of Manuel, 17 ahead of Andrea, and 22 ahead of Carl, and 28 ahead of Elliot. But we've seen Zengiz have 2 top 20s, top 20 in the first race and looking like a top 20, top 15 here. So he could see this leadership shrink. Nicolas Bastard also very solid. So looks like we're setting ourselves up to a very tight and demanding race day tomorrow. Last few boats of gold coming in this downwind. We're already seeing silver approaching the reaching mark. And here we are back with the leaders of the race. Ines from Puerto Rico still in the lead. Elliot Novara in second place, and we're just seeing Nicolas Bastard from Spain. Nicolas deciding to defend and going more for that left side. Elliot from Switzerland trapped in between Ines and Nicolas, so that is not good for him. That is not good. He will see himself bounce around. Watch out, Ines. We have a plastic just beside there that you managed to avoid, so that's good. Could really slow her down, so very important to avoid plastics. We saw in some of the previous races as the sailors lifted the centerboard fully up just to make sure they were clear of plastics. And tacking now Elliot from Switzerland. We have seen how much they have stretched out the rest of the fleet, and it's just a 3-on battle. Just these 3 boats fighting to get the P1. Emerald Fleet about to start also, but let's follow this gold finish line. Here we have Elliot and Nicolas fighting hand on hand. Nicolas not giving up, Elliot neither. They both 2 sailors were top 10 at the beginning of the day, and we'll probably see them move up and compress the fleet. Top 10 at the moment: Ines, Nicolas, Guillermo, Margot, Andrei, Nikolai, Hugo, Dani Capa, Lucas Cao, and Paul Masson. Here we have Ines tacking back, going for convergence, but looks like she is preferring the right side of Elliot. She decides to tack to leeward and defend more that right side. Let's switch quickly to see Emerald start. Here we have Emerald start coming through last minute of race. This is race number 10 of the Emerald Fleet, race number 10. And here we have it, Green Fleet just starting. As soon as we get confirmation if it's a clear start or UFDs, we will let you know. But here we are, sailors just starting to go. Whilst we just back to camera 1. Back in Gold Fleet, we're now with Ines once again, current leader of the race. We're just seeing her here. Great shot by our cameraman. Great insight into the first female overall. Tight battle between Nicolas and Elliot. Elliot pinching Nicolas out and Nicolas deciding to tack here. And here Nicolas tacking back. Looks like they all want to be on port. Probably a bit of a left shift that they want to use. Next, behind them in the screen we have Guillermo Castañeda from Puerto Rico, also just behind them. Silver Fleet going downwind now, we're just seeing them. So here we have the whole race course. Great shot here of Elliot and Nicolas. We are seeing Ines just managing to stretch out a bit longer, and looks like Ines will be taking the bullet. First bullet of today was for Nikolai from Norway, and second bullet for Puerto Rican Ines. Looking solid, she just has to sail here and focus on VMG, focus on speed, being fast, and make it towards that finishing line in P1. She'll go happy tonight to sleep. 6 in the first race, first in this race, 7 points overall, and that will make her extend her lead and get in a very good position. Not a bad way to finish Optis. Vice World Champion 2025, World Champion 2026. And here we're seeing the other fleet, the Bronze Fleet, I believe, just coming out. Sorry, apologies, the Emerald Fleet on the background here. And Ines cruising to victory. And here we are with Guillermo's Puerto Rico just coming through. Great body work by him. We're seeing him fore aft movement. Coming strong. Look at him celebrating. P4 for him in this race. And let's zoom out and see the rest of the boats. Look at him celebrating. Guillermo from Puerto Rico will be happy. To leeward of the finishing line, we have Andre from Malta. Margot from Hong Kong taking P6. So all these sailors will go happy home. One good race can really change the results of the overall. Dani Capa and Hugo from Spain coming through. Looks like 3 Spanish inside top 10. Nikolai from Norway also closing a very solid day. 9th overall in this race and first in the first race of today. Will and Lucas Cao just coming through. Now that was a tight finish between Lucas and Will, so we'll have to wait and see who crosses in first. Paul Masson from France just coming in now. And here we have top boats of the Gold Fleet. Turkey coming in now alongside Cengiz from Turkey. Great comeback by Cengiz, saving this race and leaving everything open for tomorrow. Let's see if we soon see Manuel Braganza. Unfortunately, Manuel will discard this race, but he will be in a good position. He had a 10th as a discard, so he'll be happy. André de Murtas coming through now. Also, Carl Birgerson in the committee end of the line. Tomás Morteo coming in through now. And here we have it. Here we have it, the top boats. Let's see if we can see soon Manuel from Portugal. And let's leave a bit more this finishing line and we will soon switch to the Silver Fleet. Silver Fleet going downwind. And here we have it, Manuel Braganza coming through. That will mean this is his discard, which will just tighten up everything. I think he will be leader overnight, but that burns his discard and doesn't allow him to have a bad race tomorrow. Discards at the moment before today were 19th for Cengiz, 10th for Manuel, 10th for Andrea, 41st for Carl, 27th for Elliot, 17th for Andrei, 29 for Arthur Lamin, 46 for Nicolas, 59 for Briggs, and 38th for Tomás Morteo. So all these sailors, including this race now, will have their overall discard burn, meaning that tomorrow will be sudden death. Whoever does a bad race could really imply you're taking lots of points into the scorecard. Let's follow now Silver Fleet. Gold is finishing soon, so let's switch to silver. Here we have silver coming up now. And here we have it, silver coming up in your screens. Here we have it, Silver Fleet coming up. Nicola in P1, Adrian P2, Johnny in P3, Dimitri P4, and Quentin in P5. That is the overall top 5 of the Silver Fleet at the moment. And while we are seeing the Silver Fleet race, we have updated results with race 9. Manuel Braganza, as I was saying, moving into P1, 29 points. P2 for Senghis, unfortunately 51 in the first race of today. Andrea de Murtas, 31st. Carl Birgersson did an 8th and 4th place overall. Andrei holding into P5, 19, very, very consistent. Andrei not in a single bad race in gold. 6th place for Nicolas Bastard. 7th for Elliot Novara. Elliot looking like he had a DNC, so maybe that is wrong. 8th for Arthur Lamin. 9th for Tomás Morteo. And Ines moving into 10th overall. That is the top 10 at the moment. We will see Manuel extending his lead as Senghis got another bad race, a 15th around. So he will have to take that in. André de Murtas, bad race also in the second race of today. And Carl Birgersson around 15. So looks like the top movers of today are going to be Manuel, Nicolas, and Elliot. First girl is Ines. Second girl, Margot from Hong Kong. And third girl, Mara Peñalver from Spain. Fourth is Natalia, dropping from second girl at the start of today to fourth. So we will see a bit of play around, and then the next race will have to come in, which is race number 10. So we have updated 10 race results. Manuel Braganza going tonight as the overall leader. Second overall, Senghis. Third for Andrea de Murtas. Fourth for Carl Birgerson. Fifth, Andrei Jakov. And sixth, Nicolas Bastard from Spain. Nicolas moving up in the overall. Right now, first 39 points, second 54, so 15 points difference. Andrea de Murtas in third place with 67, so 13 points to Senghis. And then the thing get tight. Between third and seventh, only 10 points. So tomorrow the sailors have to sail at top level to ensure they can make it to the podium. Everything is still in place. Senghis having a 51 as a discard, Manuel having a 37. It could see everything turn around very, very quickly. Regarding female standings, Ines Mendez in first, 8th overall, with 99 points. Second, Margot from Hong Kong, 146 points. Third for Agnieszka Madonic with 180. And just 1 point behind Spanish Mara Peñalver with 181. Natalia rounding the top 5 female with 204 points. So, bit of a battle still between second female and fifth female. Only 15 points in between them, and they all have a discard 50th, so that could mean that they suddenly see themselves dropping from those spots. That's the top 5 girls. Updated results on the website of the regatta, and right now we are seeing in our screens bronze fleet sailing and getting to the finishing line. Once again, thanks to the sponsors of today's videos. Thanks to City Sails, Turtle Project, Road to Gold, Baltic, and Opti Mallorca. We leave you with some advertising before we see the finishing line of the bronze fleet.
With safety. That's where everything starts for us, even before the first step. A first feeling that lasts. Safety as a choice. A trusted choice, one that feels good to put on. Designed for the journey you are about to take. And for the body that's wearing it. With engineered precision, with quality and function from the Nordic tradition. Because we understand, safety grows from insight. From every trip, from every adventure, from every experience. It's about how it feels. It's about comfort. About design that embraces the emotions of feeling safe and free. That's how we prepare for a new season. That's why people keep choosing Baltic year after year. That's what we mean when we say, the feel of comfortable safety.
faire gagner le sport.
Did you know the wetsuit you wear pollutes the ocean? Traditional neoprene takes 1,000 years to disappear. Clean. Restore. Prevent. Same performance, smaller footprint. Because protecting the ocean isn't optional, it's the whole point.
What does it take to become a sailing champion? Talent helps, but preparation makes the difference. At Gold Winds Sailing Academy, we develop the sailors of tomorrow through elite coaching, advanced training, and real competitive experience. From youth classes to Olympic pathways, we build athletes ready to perform when it matters most. Because excellence isn't found, it's trained. Gold Winds Sailing Academy. To be a sailing pro, start training like one.
And here we are seeing the approach of the Emerald Fleet, last fleet for today, finishing the racing. We leave you with the racing of Emerald. Here we have Emerald Fleet approaching the finishing line. Sohabib from Morocco winning the last race. Congrats, Sohabib. Second place for Mariman and third place for Vasily. And we just let you with the images of the last sailors of Emerald Fleet, and we will soon close off the streaming. Thanks for joining us in day 7 of the Optimist World Championships, and see you tomorrow for the last day of racing, where the World Championship titles will be decided.